Hello, everybody, and happy Thursday. It is Turkey 101 class, and I'll tell you what, we're very excited to have you here tonight. Now, as a warm-up to tonight's live, please, in the comment section, let me know what grill are you cooking on this Thanksgiving, because I've cooked on all of them. That's one of the benefits of my job is I get to cook on all these amazing grills. Tell me in the comment section, this is your homework, your warm-up, if you will, what grill are you cooking on for Thanksgiving? Because I'm curious, what is the most popular grill out there? Let me know in the comment section, and just out of curiosity, I always love to see what is going on there. But thank you so much for joining us for Turkey 101 tonight. Now, as you can see on the back wall here, coming up this weekend, that's right, this Saturday, November 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., it is our Thanks Grilling Party at your local Ace Hardware. Now, participating Ace Hardwares across the USA are set and ready to go with some amazing deals, demos, fun, and all that good stuff. So head into your local Ace, visit one of our barbecue experts this coming Saturday, the 18th from 11 to 2, and I'll tell you what, they're going to get you set up for some amazing, amazing turkey success. Now, we're going to start tonight talking a little bit about brine. I get a lot of questions about brine every year, so I wanted to address that first. Talk a little bit about turkey, a little bit about brine, and then, hey, I'm going to be quiet after that because it looks like in the comments section you have a lot of questions. So tonight is all about you. That's right. We're going to do a Q&A. I'll talk through the brine. I will not talk as long as I normally do, and we'll get up into these questions because you have a lot of questions. I even, where's my notepad here? I even took some notes because earlier you had a lot of questions when I was snooping around, checking out comments. So let us know. Ask your questions. We're going to go through that. Now, I also have a moderator with me tonight. She's going to go ahead and post all of the links to gear, to gadgets, to grills, and then if you want to take a deeper dive into some of our YouTube videos, she'll post those links as well, so you can check out some of our YouTube videos on maybe how to do a bacon blanket or spatchcock turkey or turkey on all the different grills, maybe even turkey breast as well. But speaking of videos, we launch new videos every single week. Myself, Chef Jay, your Ace Hardware grilling expert, Miss Annie, our paint expert, and Lou, our home expert. We launch new videos every single week. How do you know if we launch a new video? By subscribing to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel. Click on your notifications. Every single time we drop a new video, it's going to let you know. But if you don't subscribe, you won't know. So make sure you subscribe to the Ace YouTube channel. You don't want to miss out because we have some pretty amazing content here. Man, look at the questions pouring in. And I love seeing what everybody's cooking on, from the Traegers to the Big Green Eggs to Weber Genesis to Weber kettles, turkey fryers. I will tell you what, everything. Absolutely love to see that. Now, like I said to you, the first and foremost important thing when it comes to Thanksgrilling is going to be your turkey. And one of the questions I get a lot is, hey, I'm going to brine, right? But before I brine, how do I make sure that it's not going to be too salty? I'll tell you, at the core of what a brine is a really good insurance policy that you're going to have juicy, delicious, flavorful turkey, right? It's going to add a lot of moisture. It's going to impart very good flavor, and that's going to be your insurance policy that your turkey is going to be absolutely incredible. So first thing you have to do is, when it comes to selecting your turkey, we will grab our turkey out of the side here. When it comes to selecting your turkey, you just have to do a little bit of homework. You have to do a little bit of package reading, if you will. Now, a lot of turkeys come with different levels of solution in them, which is going to be a brine. That's that solution of salt, sugar, water, broth, those types of things. The more solution, the higher the percentage of solution, it's going to be the higher amount of brine, if you will. The lower percentages, and even the turkeys that have just naturally retained water, those are going to have a much better opportunity for you to pull some of that brine flavor in. But don't worry about it. Let's say you get a turkey that has a 8%, 12% solution. You're just going to brine it less. Same amount of brine, same strength. You're just going to brine it less. This one is a solution free. This just has 6% water, so I'm going to brine it that 45 minutes per pound. So on every package of brine that you get, whether it's my own line of brines or any of the brines that we sell at Ace Hardware, they're going to give you some instructions on how to best use their brine to get the most flavor out of your turkey. When it comes to our brines, we like to always suggest that the brine is cooked. You're going to add it to some hot water. You're going to bring that to a boil. You're going to stir it until it is dissolved, and then let that cool all day long. And then when it comes time to brine, you're going to put your bird into the brine bag, put it into the bucket, and then add your brine and brine it for 45 minutes per pound. That's what we recommend. When it comes out of the brine, volume is 30%, you can hear fine. Okay, perfect, awesome. When you pull it out of the brine, don't rinse it. You don't have to worry about that at all. That is going to be a very good brine. Hold on a second, let's juice this up a little bit. You don't have to rinse your turkey at all when you come out of the brine because since we cooked it, it's going to dissolve the salt. It's going to dissolve the sugar, and you are going to have an absolutely perfect bird that you don't need to rinse. Rinsing normally pertains to brines where maybe the salt and sugar aren't dissolved, and they rinse that to ensure that nothing is stuck to the outside of your bird. But I'll tell you what, brining is very, very, very simple. You're going to be loving it because, like I said, it's going to be so much more flavor and moisture. And again, at your local Ace Hardware, make sure you grab yourself a brand new Ace bucket. Make sure that bucket is cleaned out and sanitized and ready to go. And then grab some brine bags as well, because brine bags are now going to make your Ace bucket food safe. The great thing about it is once you make that bucket food safe, you can put that turkey in there. Life is good. And then guess what? When you're done, you can pop that turkey out of the brine, leave it in the bag, and guess what? Tie that bag up, set it in your garbage. You don't have to worry about pouring that brine anywhere. So, like I said, brining, super easy. It is going to do so many wonderful things for you. And I see one of the questions says, what if the bird packaged is 18% solution? Okay, let me walk you through this really quick because that's a really good question. This brine is going to do a 18 to 20 pound turkey. At 45 minutes per pound, that's going to give it a lot of flavor and a lot of moisture. 45 minutes per pound. Let's say your turkey has 8% solution in it. I'm going to back off that brine time and brine it a little bit less. So 8% solution, I may brine it 35 minutes a pound. If that turkey has, let's say 12%, 15% solution, I am going to back it down even more from there, just making sure that we don't oversalt it. So like I said, 45 minutes a pound is kind of the standard. 8% solution, back it down a little bit. 12%, back it down maybe 30 minutes a pound. 15% solution, 18% solution, back it down even more, maybe down to 25 minutes a pound. So the more the solution, back your brine time down just a little bit, if you will, all right? So we talked about brine. Let's get our brines in here. I know you have a million questions, so let's get our bird out. Let's get that bucket out of the way here. And let's start looking at these questions here. I'll tell you what, a couple questions I've got earlier were, hey, help me. It is my first time cooking and I don't want to mess this up. We're going to go ahead and post some turkey tips for you. We have a great turkey tips sheet that's going to walk you through how to pick your bird, how to brine your bird. It's going to walk you through the whole brining process, and then it's going to give you some cook times as well, some suggested cook times for your oven, for your grills, for all of that good stuff, because we know you're cooking on a lot of different cooking tools. So we'll post those turkey tips in there for you, and we'll get that set up. Somebody said Traeger help. How do I cook on my Traeger? It's my first time cooking on my Traeger. Follow the cooking tips that we're going to post for you, and it's super easy. One of the things Traeger folks have questions about is, how do I how do I get really juicy skin without drying it out? Or how do I get crispy skin? So one of the things we're really going to do is we're going to start off a little bit lower. We may start with an hour of smoke time on that bird just to impart a little bit of flavor. And then crispy skin is developed in the last probably quarter of cooking time on your turkey. And guess what? If you're cooking at 350 and you want to get that skin beautiful and crispy and brown like this, you may want to turn your temperature up from 350 to 375 just to get some more heat in there. That's going to help brown that off. One of the things we also did is we also added a little bit of fat to the skin. The fat is going to help that skin crisp up as well. You always have a choice when it comes to adding some fat. We've got bacon up, bacon grease. We also have some duck fat. But don't worry about it, because if you don't have those, you can always just use a light coat of oil, canola, or olive oil, depending on what your flavor preference is as well. So, all right, keep those questions coming in, because we have a lot of questions coming. So we're going to keep answering them for you. Somebody mentioned on the chat, I'm doing a practice turkey. I'm going to do a practice turkey this week. Absolutely amazing. I will tell you what, I love doing practice birds. Guess what? This is like practice bird number maybe 16 or 17, because I'm teaching turkey brine classes here in Colorado. I love doing practice birds, even though I'm cooking every single time, every single year. I love practice birds because they help me out a lot. And this year, I'm turning it up a little bit. I'm turning things upside down. I'm going to try some different things this year. Great question. Richard said, do you prefer brining, injecting, or a combination? I love to brine. I absolutely love that, because it's no fuss, it is no muss. What I can do is dunk my bird in the brine, let it go for that brine time. I have a baseline flavor, right? If I'm using the chef's brine, I know that I have a very neutral salt, sugar, spices, herbs, aromatics. If I'm using Bayou brine, I know that I'm getting a little Cajunish, a little bit more robust in flavor. So I love to develop the foundational flavors with brine. Then when, I will tell you, then when it comes to the injecting part, I inject fat. I love to take bacon up, and I will render this down a little bit or warm it up just a little bit and then inject it and absolutely go crazy injecting some fat in there, because that is very, very helpful as well. All right. So I like to brine and inject, but I'll tell you, one of the things I do is I will not brine and inject salt solution. I will always brine only and inject fat. Or if I'm going to inject salt or flavoring, I will do that only. I don't do both, because it will become very, very salty. Yes, Dennis said, do you have to thaw the bird before you brine it? Yes, it takes us 3 days to thaw a bird. Figure this, Dennis. Yes, I absolutely defrosted. I want it 100% defrosted. Then make sure on your defrost time, 5 pounds of turkey per 1 day. So every day, 5 pounds. If your turkey's a 20-pounder, give it 4 to 4.5 days. And that half day is just to make extra sure. I want to make sure it is fully defrosted and ready to go. So give it some extra time. But you can always figure 5 pounds of turkey for every 1 day. That's going to be a great defrost time as well for you. One of the other questions somebody said is frying pan. I'm sorry, not frying pan, roasting pan. Should I put my turkey in a roasting pan? If you want to catch the drippings for gravy, yes, you're going to want to put it in a roasting pan. What I like to do when I put that turkey in a roasting pan is I like to put it on vegetables, carrots, celery, onions. I'll chop them up, put them in my pan, put my bird on top of that. That way, your turkey drips onto the vegetables. The vegetables can be used for gravy. When you make gravy out of the pan drippings of a brine turkey, the beautiful part is those drippings make your gravy taste exactly like the turkey, so they're not competing, they're complementing, which is absolutely perfect. So roasting pan, yes, if you want to catch the drippings. That is very important. Now, don't worry about it, because if you are cooking on a Traeger or a Big Green Egg, that flavor is still going to get into that turkey, even if you have it in a pan. Don't even question that. All right. Our Lara said, are butterballs just pre-brined? Some are and some are not. You just have to read the package. Like I said, it will tell you on the front if it has a solution in it. If you're ever in doubt, turn that turkey over and look at the nutrition panel, because that nutrition panel will also tell you what's in there. Normal unbrined turkeys or natural turkeys will have 75 milligrams of sodium. If you see that sodium start to climb, you will know that there's a brine in there. So just read the package. Jason said, deep fried turkey is basically just a large driveway bomb. It is not. You absolutely can fry very, very safely. My recommendation is Always pay attention to the temperature. Make sure the temperature is exactly what you need on that oil. Then make sure that your turkey is fully defrosted. When you're done brining it, make sure you pull it out of the brine and let it drain for an hour or so. Make sure that your turkey is well prepped. I will even pat it down and then carefully submerge your turkey into that fryer oil. That is how it's safe. It's about the turkey being defrosted, about it draining, about it being patted dry, about your oil being at the right level and the right temperature. That is how it goes. Oh, here's a good one. Our Laura said, I like to use oven bags and set it inside a roasting pan. Sure, those work out great. Oven bags also ensure a lot of moisture. They do inhibit or prohibit, I guess, a little bit of flavor or smoke penetration if you're doing it on your grills. But bags work great because they do a nice job retaining some moisture and helping your bird finish off. Tony G said, any dry brining tips? You know, I just watched someone doing some dry rubs the other night, and what I noticed was on the video I saw, they lifted the skin, rubbed some fat and seasoning under the skin, and then rubbed the seasoning on top, or fat on top, and then more seasoning. Be very, very careful when you dry brine that you're not over seasoning it, because you want to make sure that you don't have salt under the skin, salt on top of the skin. Pick one place you want to put it. So if you're going under the skin with your seasoning, on top of the skin, I may just do fat to help add some flavor, and maybe just a tiny, tiny bit. But just be careful on dry brining because it's easy to get very, very salty. Let's see. Christopher says, what wood chips to use on my egg to smoke the turkey? I normally use cherry and pecan. What do you like? I like cherry and pecan. Yeah, I like mellow woods. But here's a tip when it comes to picking chips and chunks for your turkeys. Go with what your audience likes. Hey, you're cooking for your family, or maybe cooking for your friends, your children. Go with what they like. Yeah, we all love, not all of us, but some of us like that good OG Texas barbecue. We want post oak, we want some hickory and mesquite, but maybe our audience eating at our house doesn't. You can never go wrong with the cherry and apple. It is such a good flavor combo. And then less is more. So when you're putting chunks in there, those chunks are going to smolder. I put them on the outside of the fire, the charcoal in the big green egg. Less is more. If you think, ooh, I'm going to put 2 chunks in, put 1 and see how that goes. And you'll smell that flavor. You don't want that smoke to be the only thing you want to taste. You want it to be an ingredient. So it adds to and really complements your turkey. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Is there really a big difference between brands of turkeys, i.e. Butterball, Kroger, Myers, etc.? My friend Luke today called me and said he was at Myers, and he was looking at Butterballs and all the different ones, and Myers had an all-natural turkey that said on the front of it only contains 6% solution. I will tell you, there is a difference in those birds because some of them have more solution or injection in them ahead of time. Just be sure to read the package. You will always be led properly and led correctly if you read that package. It'll tell you what percentage of solution is in there. And then don't forget, turn it over and look at the back because that'll tell you how much sodium. This has 75 milligrams of naturally occurring sodium. There's nothing in here. We control this flavor now from package to plate. So there is a big difference. You just have to read packages. Let's see. Dennis says, do you keep turkey cold while brining in a refrigerator? Yes, I do. I always keep the turkey cold. You want the brine to be ice cold, the bird to be ice cold when they come together, and then while they're brining, you want them to be ice cold as well. I never suggest storing them outside. I know it gets cold at night, and everybody thinks I'm just going to set my turkey back there. That is a great way to invite some of those animals in your neighborhood that smell a really delicious meal. So just keep it in your fridge, or better yet, keep it in a cooler. But always make sure, if you're going to put your ace bucket in a cooler, that your ice and your cooler are big enough so that you can have ice up to the level of your turkey to make sure you keep it refrigerated. It's all about food safety. So cold brine, cold turkey, cold brining, and you're going to be really, really good and safe and set. Steve Weber says, can I cook my bird at 250 degrees? Steve, I will tell you what, the lower you cook it, the more it is going to dry it out. Yes, eventually that turkey will get done, but it is going to take much, much longer than if you're cooking it at 350 or 375. In order to get the skin brown and crispy and beautiful like this, you need that higher temperature to bring that fat to life. But you also want that turkey to cook a little faster so that it doesn't dry out. So you maybe want to start it at 250 so you can build some smoke flavor. Maybe you want to enhance it with a little more smoke flavor. Then turn it up 350, 375 and get to going. Normally 250 degrees, I may cook it at that for an hour and then turn it up and go. Let's see here. Donna says, I love to put mine on the rotisserie stuffed with orange and sage. Sounds like an aromatic, citrus, delicious turkey. And rotisserie, talk about a self-basting bird. That thing just spins and spins and bastes itself. Life is good. Hugger, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Hugger says, I love turkey breast injected with herb butter and smoked. Can't remember what I bought 2 years ago, breast or breast tenderloin. Is there a difference? Yes. Tenderloins are going to be thin, a little bit long, look just like a chicken tenderloin. The breast is going to be 2 lobes of the breast on the cage. But that sounds absolutely phenomenal as well. Let's see. Jason Murray says, I use some sawdust in a cast iron loaf pan. Great smoker. Can be used for cold smoking. That sounds fantastic. I've seen some of the finer sawdust chips that work great. They smolder really, really nice and do a great job here. Okay, Faith says, is a kosher turkey considered brined? Again, you're going to want to read the package because it would mean that brine solution had to be koshered as well or certified kosher. So you just want to make sure that every ingredient in there is kosher. There are some certain laws and standards that need to be followed to make sure that it is the area that it's prepared in is koshered, and then that the turkey is kosher as well as the ingredients. So always read your package. It'll have the parv or the Circle K on there to let you know that it is kosher. So I think you'll be, package reading is going to be a lot of what it is. Okay, Christopher says, oh, wait a second. Al, that was Ace Hardware that said if you're going to use a bucket for brining, use a brine bag. Good point, Ace Hardware. Let's see. Christopher says, dry tips and recommendations, please. How can I get a crispy skin? Listen, this is what I did on this. This is what I did on this guy. I smoked it along, and right when I took its internal temperature, and it was at about 135 degrees, I said, you know what? We're going up 50 degrees on the pellet grill, and we're going to turn that thing up. We went up to 375. So I'm sorry, went up 25 degrees. And then I sprayed it with a little duck fat just to bring it to life. I wanted to add a little bit more fat on there. So definitely, I look at skin as a last minute development. If your cooking tools are too high in the beginning, what's going to happen is you're going to find out that skin's going to dry out, and not get done. Crispy skin, definitely you need a little bit of extra fat in there as well. Listen, Laura, you just brought up the most amazing thing is, yes, does anybody break the turkey into parts? So if you follow me on social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, it's Chef Jason Morse for any of my social pages. I posted a video on my Instagram at Chef Jason Morse, how to quarter a turkey. Quartering a turkey is a whole different process to obviously get the turkey quartered, but cooking as well. Exceptional. That is a lot of fun. Google user says, suggestions or advice on basting of the turkey while cooking, too much or too little. I baste with fat. I don't baste with pan juices. You can. I like to baste with a little bit of fat. So I may come back and drizzle it with some oil and brush that on. I may brush it with a little bit of butter. I may brush it with some bacon grease as well. But I like to baste with fat. I don't want to baste with the juices because I feel like I'm just putting salt back on there. And yes, I understand that fat has salt in it as well, but I like to just hit it with a little bit of butter. That works out great. Yes, Laura, you are very welcome. That is quartering your turkey is you're onto something pretty exceptional. John Paul says, can you lend some tidbits on spatchcocking a turkey? I've been doing this on my egg for the last couple years. We have some great videos right here on the Ace YouTube channel, and one of them is spatchcock turkey. We've done it on the Weber. We've done it on the Traeger. We've done it on the Big Green Egg as well. Here's one of my secrets to spatchcock. Flip that bird over. Oh, it is so great and wonderful and perfect to get the bones, the backside all crispy and charred. Then flip it so that you get that skin nice and crispy as well, and get a little bit more flavor, a little more doneness into that skin. Then when you flip it back, you can add some flavor to it as well. Hey, super quick, if you are just tuning in, please leave your questions and comments, because I will be coming back throughout the course of the next week up until Thanksgiving Day, and I will be answering questions and engaging with you and commenting and all that good stuff. So if you're just joining us now, please ask your questions and comments. I will be sure to come back and get those answered for you. And then don't forget, November 18th, this Saturday, your local Ace Hardware, participating aces across the U.S. are going to be doing Thanks grilling parties. So you can swing in, deals, demos, cool things are going on as well. And then you can ask our Ace barbecue experts to give you some tips, some advice, and show you their favorite products, from Ace bucket to brine bags to brines to rubs and sauces, because you see I have a lot of different rubs and sauces here as well. So stop into your local Ace and let our barbecue experts show you some exceptional flavors. Richard says, what's the most number of turkeys you've smoked at once? I had 6 once in my backyard. Between Traegers, Weber, and Big Green Eggs, I had 1 on the egg, I had 3 on Traegers, and I had 2 on Weber's spatchcocked on the grill. So I'm just crazy like that, but I had some friends that needed some turkey cooking help, so I did some birds for them just to help get everybody turkeyed up. All right. Christopher said, well, dry rub tips. You haven't, Christopher, thank you so much for asking, or for clarifying that. I appreciate it. Dry rub tips. Look at this. See all these different dry rubs we have here? Before you add a rub to the outside skin, which is great, just be careful. Don't add a ton. You want to make sure that you're not over salting it, but always use a binder before you add your rub. So like I said, we've got bacon up bacon grease. We have duck fat spray. You can use oil. Listen, don't let me just stir up some controversy. You can even put mayonnaise on there as a binder if you want. And then just pick your favorite rubs, because we have so many different flavors to choose from. We've got some that are sweet and salty. We've got all-purpose rubs. You've got this beautiful SPG from Big Green Egg. If you don't like that, chicken rub. Matt, my buddy at Meat Church, this is his Texas Sugar, which, contrary to popular belief, it is not sugary. It is a beautiful, beautiful rub that's got just a good all-around flavor. And then you've got the Traeger garlic and chili pepper. We've got some Cosmo Q Killer Honey Bee. That's great. And then I even threw out Korean barbecue from Spiceology, because you never know what you want to flavor your turkey like. So when you're dry rubbing, Chris, thank you so much for that wonderful question. Pick your final flavor, because when you go in there and bite it, you know you're going to get a little bit of seasoning on the skin. You're going to get the skin. You're going to get that turkey. You're going to be in a good place. Yes, Canon Claude says, once you spatchcock, you will never go back. You are very correct. It is hard to go back from that. So Father of Janitor says, I plan on smoking a 14-pound turkey, 8-pound bone-in turkey breast. Any issues doing them together? The only issue will just be choreographing time. You may want to start with that bigger bird first, and then as it gets closer, try to calculate your time on that bone-in breast to make sure they finish the same time. Steve says, how long should I rest the bird before carving? That is a 30-minute resting. I was at one of my local Aces the other night, and we rested a turkey before we cut into it. It went up 6 degrees after we cooked it, and then leveled out and stayed hot. I'm talking, we cut it and steamed it 30 minutes. Still 30 minutes after I pulled it. So give it about 30 minutes to rest. You are going to be in a good place. All those juices will come back out, and you will be good to go. Shout out, hey, Fairfax Ace Hardware, good to see you guys. Lone Star Barbecue says he likes my Ace barbecue plaque. Thank you, appreciate that. Let's see. Lutheran Fork says, I stuff my turkey with onion, garlic, celery for moisture, and baste with butter and cover with foil in the pan before roasting. That sounds absolutely amazing. I absolutely like that. I like brining, but yours sounds good too. Here's what I always tell everyone, right? It's like fat side up, fat side down. at the end of the day, they both create something really delicious. That turkey you had with the onions, the garlic, the celery sounds great. Definitely, I love brining because it's good. Hey, Steve, let me clarify one thing. Anytime you rest your turkey, uncovered. Don't cover it because it will continue to keep all of that heat built up in there. So we want to rest uncovered. Christopher, thank you. Appreciate your nice comment. We love doing these, so we're glad that you enjoy it. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Stephen, for your comment like that too. Let's see. What is the best way, frying or smoking the turkey? Two totally different processes, right? It's like asking you to pick who your favorite kid is. I like the smoking part. I like the roasting part. I like the grilling part. I like the frying part. How is that for a non-committal answer, right? You know what? Pick what everybody that you're cooking for likes. My family loves a good roasted turkey, whether it's roasted on the egg or the Traeger or on my Weber. Can't go wrong. And now I'm confused because I really don't know what I'm going to be doing now this year. I'll figure it out in the next week, but you can't go wrong with either. All right. Laura says, back to the injected brine. After cooking, resting, eating, does the meat dry out faster than normal? No, but it will if you leave it sit on your counter and dry out that way. I like to get it in the fridge when we're not done eating or when we're done eating so that it can cool down faster. I don't want the air in my home to evaporate any of that moisture out of my bird. So I like to keep it covered while it's sitting on my counter and we're all running through the buffet, if you will. As soon as I'm done eating, I like to get that in the fridge and covered once it's cooled down. So, all right. Oh, yeah. So, Brandon, thank you, Brandon. Ryan, Chef, I appreciate that very much. Brandon and I used to work together, and back in the day, we used to bacon blanket wrap all of our turkeys. So a bacon blanket is another fantastic way to impart a lot of flavor. Just be careful again. Like I said, you're always adding a lot of salt. If I'm going to bacon blanket, I may brine it a little bit less, and I more than likely won't season the skin because I don't want to make it a salt bomb. But you cannot go wrong with a bacon blanket. And conveniently for you, we have a video right here on the Ace YouTube channel for you as well. Tim says, if I get a holiday dinner from the store that comes with a fully cooked turkey, can I spatchcock and brine? I'm not sure. If you get a fully cooked turkey, you just need to reheat it with some moisture in the oven. That's going to be your best way of reheating a pre-cooked turkey. You don't want to dry it out, so that's going to be a little bit something you want to be aware of. So let's see here. Who made your apron? Richard. I wish I could tell you, but I can't remember the name, and it's right up here. But if you send me an email or message me on Facebook or Instagram, I will give you the information. I'm a larger dude. I've been trying to find the beautiful crossback aprons for a while. I found a good one, so I'm happy to share that with you as well. Let's see here. Jason Murray says yes on the bacon blanket. He said, yeah, what's a bacon blanket? I will have our moderator put that video up for you. Bacon blanket is legendary. Let's see here. Ace Hardware said, shout out to the awesome folks in Lenoir City, Tennessee. Very nice. Thank you for the extra tip. You are welcome. Cannon Claude says, I prefer to dry brine and put an herb butter under the skin. Sounds delicious. All right, let me see here. Yeah, Tony says, once you smoke a turkey, you can't go back to oven. It's hard, right? It's hard once you find a new favorite way to do it to go backwards, but it's also convenient. So it could be one of those times where you're like, I need to do it this way. But you're right. Once I moved outside and got away from the oven, it's hard to go back. And I haven't gone back I've been married 23 years, so I haven't gone back in 23 years. So it's always on the grill for us. Let's see here. Hey, Moses Robert says, hey, from Moses Lake, Ace Hardware. Good to see you, buddy. Can you smoke a turkey with stuffing in it? Thank you for asking that question. I do not stuff my birds. I just, from a food safety, I have a hard time putting stuffing in there and just letting it go. I like to put carrot, celery, onions in my turkey just a little bit to catch some drippings and add some flavor. I personally don't like stuffing a bird. Can you smoke it with a stuffing in it? Yes, but you need to be at 350 degrees, 375 degrees, because you need that high temperature to get that up and running so that you can get that bird cooking faster. Okay. Try post carving seasoning. Yep, absolutely. You totally could season it afterwards before you get it on there. Hey, and moderator, thank you so much. We just posted the link to the bacon blanket. So get up there and grab that link because that is amazing. I line the cavity with foil before smoking a stuffed turkey so it doesn't smoke out the stuffing. Yeah, that's a great tip as well. I put carrots, celery, onions in mine to also absorb some of that smoke so it doesn't go into the cavity through the top and get too much smoke. So let's see here. Laura put up a bunch of tasty emojis, so thank you so much because that looks delicious. Ed, once you smoke a cigar, you can't go back. I agree with you. I got my Thanksgiving cigars today, so I'm all set and ready to go. Steven said, any recommendations for making a great Cajun bird? Yeah, definitely. A little bacon fat on the top and then pick a really good Cajun rub. If you want to use a brine, what I would also do is maybe add some of that Cajun rub into your brine to really amplify your brine. You want to make sure that that brine's got some good flavor. Our Bayou brine, which is one of the brines on sale at Ace, is going to be nice and rich and deep and robust. We've got some herbs, smoked black pepper, garlic, paprika, all that. And that's a great start. Then you could just amplify the flavor with the skin as well. Gretchen and Dave said, do I need to roast a 16-pound brine bird differently than a non-brine? No. Once they're brined, cook them the same. A non-brined bird is still going to have about 6 or 8% water in it. You're going to want to add some fat. You're going to want to add some seasonings. So you'll definitely still have some moisture in there. It's just not going to be flavorful like if it was brine. So pay attention to cooking temperature because you definitely want to have some great heat in there to get everything up and running. One says, have you had success with beer can inside the turkey using an air fryer? I have not. I don't like putting things inside my turkey cans and those types of things. I'll have a turkey throne that's ceramic that I can pour liquid into. And I know it's clean and sanitized and all that, but I think, I'm telling you, I think the air fryer is the unsung hero of the kitchen. I have an air fryer I've been doing some work on, just having fun with it. They're amazing. And what makes them so good is it cooks fast and efficient, locks in all those juices, and I don't think you can't go wrong with an air fryer. Obviously, your flavor is not going to be as rich and as deep as if you were on a grill, but yeah. All right, carving tips. We have, Allison, looks like our moderator just posted carving tips for you as well. We show you some fun ways to carve a turkey. We've got a lot of cool stuff in there for you on how to carve, and it's very, very different. Everybody carves a little different. The question I always ask is, are you going to carve your turkey at the table in front of your guests? Because what I normally do is I like to carve it in the kitchen where no one's watching and paying attention, because then I can actually break the leg thighs out. I can break the wing joints out. I can pull the breast meat from the rib cage, cut it much, much easier than if I'm standing in front of my guests trying to cut a turkey with a giant knife. Sometimes maybe a little bit awkward. All right, question. How to keep a turkey moist when smoking in a pellet grill? Yes. Great question, Carl. Because pellet grills are driven by a fan, right? Fan circulates air, air wicks out moisture, air dries things out a little bit. Temperature is going to be your best friend. If you want to smoke it at a low temperature, 225 or lower, I do that for just an hour, just to impart some flavor, and then up to 350, up to 375 to really drive that temperature, because that is what is going to make a huge difference. The longer you cook it at a lower temperature, it's almost like making jerky, because that fan and that low temperature are wicking all the moisture out. So just my biggest tip when it comes to pellet grills: smoke, supplement for an hour, get it up to 375, 350 to 375, and get it moving along. Lone Star Barbecue, Colleyville Ace is your go-to place. We appreciate that very much. All right, we have time for one more question. If anybody has a question, shoot it. But before we get to the last question, don't forget, the way you find out when we've got videos, events, and cool things coming here on YouTube, subscribe to our Ace YouTube channel. When you click subscribe, you can click your notifications. We are going to let you know when new videos are posted. Like I said, every single week, we post a new video from myself, from Lou Manfredini, our home expert, and Miss Annie, our paint expert as well. So you can always find great videos. Just subscribe. Question came in, where do you place the probe? Great question. When I put my probe into my turkey, I have my turkey facing away from me. What I will do is put that probe into the biggest, thickest part of the breast lobe. That way I'm getting more mass to make sure that I have a better reading and more consistent reading as well. And then once the probe is in there, if you're going to track it with, let's say, a meter or the Egg Genius or the Weber Connect, leave it in there and let it do its thing. That is how we track temperatures. Turf King says, if you were me, what rub would you use? This is an audience question. What does your audience that you're cooking for like to eat, and what flavor profile do they prefer? Man, we have a ton of different rubs available at your local Ace, so always reach out to our barbecue experts in the stores because they'll walk you through some of their favorites that work and talk to you about those flavor profiles of those rubs as well. Marcia said, we bought a smoked turkey. What is the best way to warm it so it doesn't dry out? A little bit of chicken stock in your pan and then cover it with foil and slowly, I shouldn't say slowly, 350 degrees so you can just slowly warm it up. And yes, I know 350 is a hotter temperature, but it will still warm it up nicely. The moisture inside your pan will add some steam as well. So we have a lot of cool things. It says from our moderator, if we do another class, what would you like to learn next? We've done ham, we've done prime rib. What else can you go for or would you like to see? Looks like we have thick steaks on the uni, pork shoulder, pork ribs. And then Julie says, please say internal temperature again. Temperature on your turkey when they are done should be 165 degrees in the breast and 180 degrees in the leg and the thigh. So make sure that you're hitting that. And once you hit that 165 and 180, it's time to come off and rest it uncovered so that that bird has a chance to vent a little bit of that heat off and kind of crescendo and then level out, and you'll be nice and juicy, wonderful, and delicious. Ooh, leg of lamb. Come on now. Threatening me with a good time. Prime rib. Yes, prime rib with Christmas coming up. I get you there. Totally get you there. Brisket would take us, that would be the longest live ever. But I'll have some brisket going ahead of time. And I'll tell you what, if you want a great brisket video, there's that whole TikTok thing out there with untrimmed brisket. I was very skeptical of that, but we actually did it here for a video. Untrimmed brisket. That was it. I didn't even have a knife. I seasoned it, threw it on the Traeger. Literally one of the best briskets I have ever eaten. It was out of control. Absolutely amazing. So, all right, you guys. Don't forget this Saturday coming up, Saturday, November 18th, 11 to 2 at participating Aces across the U.S. It's our Thanks Grilling Party. So you can swing in for deals, demos, tips, all of those good things. And then don't forget to talk to our barbecue experts, have them help you pick out all the gear, gadgets, grills, rub seasoning, brines. Don't forget a brand new Ace bucket. We will help you become Thanksgiving rock stars. So a lot of cool things coming up. Always stop into the #1 barbecuing and grilling destination in your neighborhood, your local Ace Hardware. We've got a lot of cool things for you. And I'll tell you, I am amazed every day at the awesome things we carry in our stores, and love our retailers because they all work so hard to keep your neighborhood smelling absolutely delicious. So, hey, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. I'm Chef Jay, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. Don't forget, follow us on Ace Hardware Instagram, Facebook. Don't forget, subscribe right here, Ace Hardware YouTube channel. If you want to follow me, Chef Jason on Instagram, Chef Jason Morse on Instagram. But thank you for hanging out. Wishing you all an absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving with your family and with your friend group and your people. Have a great Thanksgiving with your people, and we look forward to seeing you soon at one of our other live YouTube videos. Happy Thanksgiving.